Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing an update on my currently inked. We're moving house as a few of my recent videos have suggested, so I've packed all my pens, and for the next couple of weeks I've limited myself to 6, and they're all inked, fully inked, and well, I'm hoping that I don't run out of ink because I've only got a couple of samples sort of left out, and they're blacks and blue blacks and things like that, but at the moment I've got 6 pens, 3 weeks, so let's see how we go. These pens are carried in 2 ways. One is in a little faux leather sleeve here, and then one is in the Manhattan Portage clamshell case, which was a recent mass drop product, which I love. I've wanted for a while, and I didn't get, I couldn't justify the things like the shipping from the US for a case like this, but when the mass drop price came out and it was so low, I thought, yeah, no, I'll get one. So if this is something you're interested in seeing a review on, let me know. I will put one together, or just a general video on it. I think it's a really great product and a really great pen case. So yeah, anyway, the pens I have at the moment, well, we'll start with the pen in the sleeve here. And what we have is the Pelikan M805. This is the blue stripe one, obviously. I wanted to get one with the silver trim, so I got the 805. And I think it's beautiful. It writes. I reviewed an M800 recently, the green stripe one from the Larry Post Loaner program, and it didn't write quite like I liked. And while this one still isn't necessarily as wet as I would like, it's a lot smoother and really quite a pleasant writing experience. So. Now please excuse my writing. I'm writing in the most unusual position today. I'm not at my usual sort of place, and I'm just trying sort of a slightly different angle and things like that. But what we have, so this is a currently inked, and this is for the being recorded on the 15th of November 2018. So this is the Pelikan M805 with a medium nib. Beautiful pen. The ink is Diamine Earl Grey. It's not my favourite grey. It's sort of I think it's got ever so slight bit too much maybe purple in it or something for my tastes. I do like sort of a slightly sort of more graphite-y grey perhaps. But yeah, this is nice. And the pen is lovely to write with. It's beautiful and smooth, and nice, and it's wet enough as you can see, but nice pen. And yeah, Diamine Earl Grey. Then we have the little Manhattan case here, which you can see there are 5 pens in. It's got sort of 3 sort of slightly smaller compartments and 2 slightly larger ones. You can see the pens there. We'll sort of do them as we go. So to start with, we have the Visconti Rembrandt, which is the purple here. Still nib, but I quite like it. I like the purple as well. The purple finish has sort of got these reds and blues and things, so I'm not sure how clearly that will be brought up in the camera, but it's really quite lovely. This is this is a medium nib, and the ink in this is Robert Oster's Sydney 2018 Lavender. Interesting ink. Yeah, it's nice. It's a light lavender sort of colour, but it dries quite grey. And as Aziza Gourmet Pens pointed out, you can actually see some green on some paper. I hadn't noticed it until I wrote on this sort of Tomel River. It's interesting. What I'd like to see from Robert is a really sort of vibrant, like strong purple. not like Lamy Dark Lilac or anything like that, although that would be fabulous, but something that's sort of quite a rich purple that stays purple. They have a tendency to sort of fade out into sort of greys. These purple, think of things like even Barossa Grape or Purple Rock. They start out sort of a nice purple, and then sort of as they dry, they sort of turn into a grey. So for me, that's something I'd like to see Robert Oster have a look at, is a more sort of purpley purple ink. Speaking of purple, the next pen is the Lamy Dark Lilac 2016 special edition, limited edition pen. It's the Safari, of course. Dark Lilac there. And this is predictably a medium. And the ink here is just a Lamy black cartridge. Waste not, want not. I put it in here for a video I did on nibs recently, and I just love writing with this pen, so I decided to keep it in there. And why not? It's a nice ink, it's a nice pen, it's a really lovely pen. This isn't the nib that originally came on this pen. I did get a medium. My medium is my preferred nib. It fits well with my handwriting size and the ink shading and all that sort of stuff. Stub nibs don't necessarily work for me. Stub nibs are good for you, fantastic. For me, mediums are what I like to go for. Actually, all my pens today are mediums, but even here already you can see there's sort of 3 different line widths of medium. But this particular medium Lamy nib writes really nicely and smoothly and quite wet, so I was quite happy to swap that one in. Next pen we have is a pen, one of my more recent purchases. In fact, 3 of the pens today are quite recent purchases, but this one is probably, I think, the most recent, or the most recent arrival. Did take a long time to get here. That's a whole nother story. Diplomat Excellence A2. It's the, I think, called Evergreen. It's a lovely sort of foresty, rich, dark green, heavy pen. Good size in the hand. I really like it. Lovely, typical steel Diplomat nib. Really solid pen. It medium nib in all of these, and the ink here is Diamine Green Black. Awesome ink. I love this ink. It performs really well. It's a great shade of green. It's a nice sort of wet ink. It works beautifully in this pen. Let's bring it up nice and close so you can sort of see hopefully some of the color of that ink. It's just beautiful. Great ink. Love it so much. And an ink that I love in this pen. I think it's a really good match to the color of the pen, and writes really well in that nib as well. The next pen is the Stipula Etruria, and this is the Gorilla model. One of my favorite pens. Small section, but because of the size of the pen in general, it fits really well in my hand, and it feels really nice to write with. A bit of a hard start, but that was my mistake. Stipula. As I said, I'm writing on a really interesting angle here. Stipula Etruria Gorilla medium, and the ink in this one, that does say medium, I promise, is yes, Mont Blanc Lucky Orange. A pen friend, well, a viewer, sent me a sample of this ink, and it's really awesome. It's a great orange. It's turning out to be one of my favorite oranges. I think this is the sort of orange I like. It is definitely a bright orange, but there's some really interesting sort of depth to it, which I don't find on some orange inks. So I've been using this to mark up edits on like music and some written stuff that I've been doing, and it stands out beautifully on the page, especially like when you see it alongside Lamy Black or something like that. It really does sort of stand out on the page. If I need to go, oh, that's wrong, or new paragraph there or whatever, it's right there. It's very visible. It's great. I normally use Waterman Red for that, but which I have always inked up in a Platinum Preppy, but today for the last little while I've been using this beautiful Mont Blanc Lucky Orange. And now we come to the final pen for today, and it's not going to come as any sort of surprise to anyone, I don't think. It's the Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age, which was my first Grail pen, and it's a beautiful pen, loving it. It's starting to run low on ink again. This is the only one that I've kept a sample of this ink out to re-ink with, which is the Diamine 1864 Blue Black. I just made a little, you know, the 7mm vials that you get the Goulet samples in up of this ink. But the pen here is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age, medium, and the ink, as I said, is Diamine 1864 Blue Black. Occasionally at the moment I'm getting some little sort of hard starts on this pen, which is frustrating me a little bit. I think I need to put it under a loop. I think you can see, probably, you might be able to see just, there's like a slight misalignment of the right nib, the right tine is slightly higher than the left. I'm not sure how visible that will be in the shot, which I can easily tune that out. That's because these nibs are quite soft, and when I write, I turn the pen that way, so it's hard. We do get occasional sort of hard starts because the nibs aren't making, the tines, sorry, aren't making contact at the same time. That's my mistake, it's not a fault of the nib. I've never had a problem with this nib until I've been writing with it a lot, and I think it has just gone slightly out of line. I might actually, this is one nib that I could probably consider sending to be turned into like an oblique medium, a right-footed oblique, so that, yeah, with that turning I don't end up pushing the tines out, because it happens, like it's happened with other pens for me. So yeah, it's something that I need to take into account. But, you know, aside from that, it's a beautiful smooth pen. It's so wet, like it's you know, crazy wet pen. And this ink, this Diamine 1864 Blue Black, is my favorite blue black, I think, of any. It's just, yeah, a great blue black, and no grey in it, no green in it, just a solid, proper, in my opinion, proper blue black. So that was the pens I have inked at the moment. We'll start from the top, where we had the Pelikan M805, the Visconti Rembrandt, the Lamy Safari in the dark lilac, the Diplomat Excellence A2, the Stipula Etruria, and the Visconti Homo Sapiens. So that's what I'm writing with for the next few weeks. If you've, you know, I'd love to know what you're writing with. I always do. I find it really interesting, particularly the pen and ink combinations. Very cool. So yeah, get in touch, comment on this video, comment on any of my videos, get in touch using the platforms below, Instagram, Twitter, and all of that. Drop me an email. If you've got something you think I should be looking at, let me know. Or if you've got a way you'd like to support this channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you later.